Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome. I am your host for today's live stream. Welcome. This is John Skippy Limcool reporting from the studios in Portland, Oregon, where Plugin Guru happens. Welcome. I'm glad to see you all today. I am getting ready to show you some interesting things today. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. We're starting with a wave sequence. I'm going to add. We have a new synth that has come onto the scene, a new living creature. Works with everybody else we got. And it's free. So let me see, I gotta get the chat up and I need to get some links. That's the one thing I forgot to do. Hey guys, welcome. Good to see you all. Welcome, welcome. Vital is a new synthesizer you guys should know about. It's pretty insane what this can do. Let's see here. Vital. Let's have you talk to everybody. Initialize. We need to have LFO1 talking to the wavetable. Have it do a shape like this. And let's have it say, welcome to the live stream. And I want it to be in Italian. Go. Oh, we should probably kill everybody else so you can hear this by itself.
Welcome to the live stream. 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 Welcome to the welcome to the live stream.
Now let's have us say something else. Let's say music is let's say make funky music. And I want it to say it this time in Russian. Go. It has all sorts of cool tricks it can do, but this is a pretty cool one. If you buy the $80 version, you get unlimited speech to text that you can just type in as many times as you want. I don't know if you get a limit on the free versions or not, but it's really fun. Life is sweet. And let's, oh, I had it do it in some weird language thing. So let's say life is sweet, and let's have it, maybe not in Russian, but let's say Greek. Go.
Life is sweet. 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 Life.
So that's just the start of all the stuff. One of the things that's cool and unique that you should be aware of is that all the LFOs have a stereo modulation parameter, which is really cool. It allows it to modulate the parameter different for the left and the right speaker. So you could turn on the filter. Drag this over to the filter cutoff, you hear it. This right here alone is a really cool change stereo, and it modulates the left side at a different cycle rate up to 180. this up. And then you can modulate this with random. Notice if you grab a modulation source, everything that's possible lights up. So you can say, what do you want it to do? You want to do the wavetable? Okay. So now we need to choose a wavetable that's got some sort of cool stuff to it. And it's doing it. So it's very easy. You go to the matrix and say, I want it to invert it. So it's got cool graphics all over the place showing you how things work. Comes with lots of patches. I've got the full version here. He didn't have, I'm not gonna say there's some good patches in here. There's some patches that aren't on the right tuning and a lot of experimental stuff. We'll look at this more. There's another synth. There's actually 3 synths that I have to show you guys today. On top of that, Spitfire has a big Black Friday sale, just like I have a big Black Friday sale going on. I'll point that out to you in a minute. But they have the DiscoverStation Core and Pro in their Black Friday sale. And I took this opportunity and I bought the Core version of DiscoverStation. So I can show you a handful of patches that I converted quickly last night from the free $50 or free if you wait 2-week version, the Discover version of the Symphony Orchestra, to the Core version. And it's the same samples, but there's more of them. There's round robins and stuff that make it sound far more alive and real. It's really great. So I will show that to you. Let me get the links. I didn't put links in because I was a little late here. So Vital is available right here. So let's go copy. I need to paste this. I got this place to put it. So into the chat description, and I'll put it also into our chat here. Vital is available right there. Yeah, so we'll make the DiscoverStation available both in this, the BBC Symphony Orchestra available in both the Discover version and Core. And then Core version also will load into the Pro version, we've confirmed. So we'll have those 2 flavors. I'm also gonna show you, I converted it to the Native Instruments Contact version of their, I think it's Symphony Score or something like that is the name of their library series that they released. It works there too. It's really interesting. It sounds very different. Let's see here. We need to go Cherry Audio, because Cherry Audio has a audio. Oh, it's not going to Cherry Audio Home. They have a free synth they have released called the Surrealistic MG-1, based on the realistic MG-1 from Radio Shack. It's nice and cheesy and monophonic, which means Unify can make it polyphonic easily. And then SonoSonus has a piano called Lowkey. It's not going to get me there that way. SonoSonus felt piano. Oh, SonoScore. All these companies that are popping up with these names I'm not familiar with. So here is the link for the Cherry Audio MG-1. Let's get this into the chat. And then the felt piano that I'll show you in a minute is here at SonoScore. And again, these links are also in the video description. So you can go to those 3 free instruments. And if you have found something interesting and cool for free, put it into the chat. Also, we have, at the forums, we have a thread going on, let's see, right down here, favorite plugins or libraries. I think that's the one I created. Yeah. So here, people have been putting in their feedback and thoughts on all sorts of cool plugins that have been found and purchased. What have you purchased during Black Friday? What free instruments have you found? Put all that kind of information onto this thread at the Unify forums, actually at the Plugin Guru forums. It's forums.pluginguru.com. And we'd love to hear what you have found. So that way everybody else in Guru Nation can take advantage of the cool things you've found. Oh, Rigid Audio has Granulate. Oh, cool. That's cool. Let me pop up a link for that. I want to see you. Rigid Audio. Sound Design Toolkit. So here we go. It's that VST Buzz. 100% off Granulate. Is a granular sound design library. So vstbuzz.com/store/granulate. GRANULAT is a free sound design library. Very cool. Thank you, Rick. And put other things that you find there. My wages is gone. I want to point out, because I have to have a sale. I've done kind of a growing sale this year. There's going to be a few more libraries added for Monday, I'll tell you. But we've got a whole bunch of different sales going on here. I'm not going to show them to you because the prices are too low to publish. They're just way too low. But one of them that I did that's kind of fun is there's an Infinity. It's called the Infinity bundle. It's 28 libraries for Omnisphere that I've created, just the libraries that I've created that are at 75% off. So it's basically, if you can afford to buy 7 libraries, and if you think you might buy that over a period of time, you get 28 libraries for that purchase. So it's a really crazy option. Here, I'll show you this. It's a bundle. Normally it's probably about $500-600, but it's at $349 right now to get all of these libraries that I've created since 2010. All of the Omniverse 1, 2, 3, Omnipulse 1, 2, 3, Mega Magic Dreams, pads, guitars, bells and winds, violin, cello, viola, Signs of Life, Beautifully Broken, Del Norte, Retrosphere, the OMG drum libraries. Everything I have done, my entire life's work for Omnisphere is available in a bundle at the Black Friday sale. And that's good. Those sale prices and those offers, there's a lot of single libraries that are really amazingly affordable prices, like $14 or $15 or $24 for different libraries. So if you need some Plugin Guru inspiration, please go to the Black Friday sale there. And I thank you very much for your business. Thank you. All right, so let me show you some stuff. Let's have some fun here. So, hey Tom, good to see you all. All right, so let's start with Vital since it's here. By the way, a really cool shortcut that I use all the time is the Option Init, because it erases all the layers except for the first one, and it doesn't touch the first one. We did this so that when we were working in with Polybox and like a monophonic synth that you're gonna be trying in a polyphonic way, you could just get back to that first layer, so you could just change to another patch, go over here and propagate the voice polyphony, and you're done. And then hold an Option and hit Init again when you're ready to go into another patch. But it also does just to reset. So I just have Vital. I wanted to lose the other layers. So now I can just double click and there's Vital. Hello, Vital. So here you can click right here and it does some resizing options, although it's kind of going in the wrong direction. I believe, where is it? There's settings here. I didn't mean to make it smaller now. Oh, here we go. So 100%. You also have, when you click the little Vital logo, it logs you in. You have to log in. You need an internet connection, so be aware of that. This morning it asked me for my username and password, so I don't know if it's going to do that on a regular basis or not. But Let's init and play with it for a minute. This is a synth. It's 3 oscillators plus a sample layer right here. So it's kind of similar in the pieces of the puzzle you get to Serum. Although Serum's only 2 oscillators. So this is one more oscillator than Serum to start with of just actual oscillators. And then you have the sample layer. Now you consider this third layer like the sub-os that you get inside of Serum. So but here you can choose it to be any sound that you want. It has some really nice modulation options. If you go to modulation number 3 and you add it, it will add number 4. If you add 4, it adds number 5. If you add 5, it adds number 6. So it will grow just like Serum does. Gee, someone gave them good inspiration, I guess, huh? Same with the LFOs. There's 4, and if you add more things to the LFOs, it will grow as well. The modulation assignment is nice in that you just click and drag, and you're able, like I said, to assign to anything. It has some cool things with pitch modulation, which is cool to point out. So if we go and we say, let's have it do coarse pitch, right? It makes a little circle here, which makes like a virtual knob so that you can now just... What range do you want it to be? I don't know if you can enter a value this way. Enter value. So we could say 12. Now right here where it says pitch, you have the ability to quantize the pitch. So now it's just going to do... I got a minor chord selected, so now... And if I click right here, the knob shows up. So you can quickly make video game things. You've got curvature controls. And again, anytime you want, go to stereo, and even on pitch, you can get the stereo imaging to be different. Just click here. So if you just give me one note. So you can get really cool stuff to happen. They have lots of different filter choices, Foreman's, comb. Let's say we want to slowly do that, so go LFO 2, filter cutoff. Get used to your knob being a slider for filter cutoff, and this is resonance right here. Let's have it go slower. Oh, this is 1, so let's have this back. You can also click right here to choose to be just in seconds. It will go very fast. Let's say we want speed of this to be randomized, so you can click right here, and then the random has all sorts of different types of randomization. It has unison right here. It has, what's cool with Serum, a lot of times you'll do FM from different oscillators. We could turn this on, make this like a sine wave. Let's see, factory, down here, some sines. Turn down the level, but let's have FM. Let's see, is it over here? FM from oscillator 2. And that could be modulated with another LFO easily. So it's kind of a modulation heaven. You could quickly get all sorts of cool unison sounds going pretty quickly. So the sound quality of it, I'm still kind of, it has its own sound, I'll say that. I did some tests comparing with Serum. Serum has a little bit more of a solid, I'm not sure, I'm not ready to like give a final conclusion there, but trying to get that microphone away from the keyboards. I've had a couple people say, getting a lot of keyboard action. So anyway, it's definitely for free. It's really cool. You know, it's one of those things that's like, well, it's gonna automatically go into torrenting, so why not just make it free for those that want to torrent? And those that have money, they have a $25 option, which gives you more wavetables. Then they have an $80 option, which gives you more tables, more patches, and unlimited use of the speech to text. So you get to play with that all you want, which is nice. I think it's an interesting business model because it's kind of saying, you know, beat the torrent world at its own game by just making it free. I think it's actually smart because that way the incentive to make, hey, somebody cracked it finally. You know, I mean, that's not even an equation to people. So it's really cool. It has a whole effects section, which is very nice. You can go right here and you can click and drag to change the order of the effects. And you can see that it actually changes in the list here as you change the order. It's got reverb, EQ, the compressor. It can get into multi-band stuff. So it's like an OTT type of a compressor for the aggressive. It does a lot of the big bass sounds that we're used to Serum making. If you click and then patch name, you'll go to a place where you can say bass. It does all kind of your big obligatory. That kind of stuff. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I'm using a Native Instruments keyboard and I play hard. I'm a hard player. And it's gotten to where the felt has softened, I guess. I'm gonna have to replace it with a chord keyboard. Chord keyboards seem to have more life to them to be solid longer. Certain keys are louder than others, so I keep moving the microphone farther away from the keyboard and closer to moi, which it makes it not too bad. Just don't want it like, you know, I love the videos where someone's like, so we've got this new library for you. I'm going to show you and it's going to sound like this. And, you know, it's cool to be like that, but you don't have to have it quite like that, I don't think. So we'll find a place in between and keep it away from the keyboard. Okay. So I can actually probably turn down the level just a little bit now. So let's go here and turn this down just a bit. So get the balance right. How's that? I'm just gonna have to replace the keyboard. Native Instruments, you guys need a more solid key bed. I'm using the lightweight action. I think it's the 61 Mark II. And it's pooped out on me. So... Oh, okay. I can turn up Vital. There you go. Here, I'll turn off my mic. I'll just play through some patterns. It's disappointing that there's very little modulation assigned to anything. I never let anything out without the modulation doing something super cool. So that's unfortunate. It's just a useless controller in most of these. They do have a cool system where, like Data Broth, guy knows what he's doing. He's got some stuff going on. So you can click Data Broth and it will just show his patches. Let's play through his sounds. So here's someone that actually knows how to program. It is CPU heavy at times. I think that's because 16 voice unison is used on all 3 oscillators, and 2 filters will definitely, that will hit some CPU hits. This is cool. Again, all the big voices. And it's version 1. There's chances to optimize it, I'm sure, a little bit more. Pretty cool. Right? So it's definitely a new synth that has its own vibe to it. I really dig it. So and it plays cool in Unify. You heard that, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah. New Lung is cool. I could play a whole track just on that. Yeah. By the way, I'm getting around to finishing the Big Bad Beats vocoder library. I have a long ways to go, but I've got the game plan. I'm making some really cool noise things, so you could add this. Oh. Uh-oh. I haven't finalized this, so it doesn't have follow turned on. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, it can work. It's got a cool vibe to it, fits the mix very nice. Cool FM kind of thing there. By the way, you'll notice there's a new library coming. I might show you some of that at the end. Okay, so Vital. The link's in the description to get it. It's free. It's got some cool capabilities. I love the innovations of the different types of random. The stereo parameter on the LFOs is something that I think should become a standard, because just going like this to change the phase coherency between the modulation of an LFO is great. It's one of those subtle things you notice but don't notice. Okay, so, sorry. Number 2 on the free instrument tour. Cherry Audio has released the Surrealistic MG-1. And it sounds just like a cheap realistic synthesizer. It's got a cool vibe. Okay, not just so cheap. It has a mixer section over here that you've got the different oscillator tones. It also has a polyphonic oscillator. So it's both polyphonic It's cool. Oh, here's your real time. Got lots of filter action if you want. So cherryaudio.com. There's some interesting experimental patches. It's a sweet filter. And let me show you the steps. Say we wanted to make this polyphonic. All you need to do is go to Layer, add a MIDI effect. We actually have presets. Let's replace the preset with an 8-layer polybox. That means I'm going to want this to be 8 voices of polyphony. All I have to do is connect this layer to polybox, set this to MIDI channel 1, and then go over here and say make 7 more just like it, plus 1 on the MIDI channel, please. And just like that. I want the whole thing to be an octave lower. So I hold down init, or I hold down control, click init, and that gets me back just as 1 layer. So I can take it down maybe 2 octaves because it was a little high. And then just go over here and say, do it again to make it into a multi-layered example. And now, and the mod wheel doesn't do something. So hold down, option, click, and oh, that wouldn't work. We don't propagate assigning sources. I was gonna say, it'd be cool if you could go to 1 and assign like the mod wheel to the filter cutoff of this when you propagate 7 more. I don't think currently our knobs do that. So it'd have to be something you did inside of the synth. I think they do have some modulation controls. I'm not sure. Let's see. There's a mod wheel here for the LFO. So you can have the mod wheel control things like this, but that's kind of interesting. So let's notice I turned off polybox because I wanted to play it. If polybox is still on, it only plays every 8th note. So turn this off when you want to play. Modify the sound the way you want. Maybe I want that to be polyphonic. So now I go back here, turn back on polybox, go over here, set this to 7. That will make 7 additional layers, advancing the MIDI channel. And I'm gonna move the mod wheel. Each oscillator is now doing its LFO at its own times. So it's got a nice analog vibe to it, and it's free. So Cherry Audio, they also have the CA2600, which is their ARP 2600. We've unified that. DC 106 is their Juno 106. We've unified that. So those are available. Really cool. The third thing to show you that's free, we're doing freebies first, and then we're going to do the BBC Symphony Orchestra. For this, you need Contact. So let's call it Contact 6. It needs the full version. This does not work in the free player. In fact, you have to confirm like 2 or 3 times when you're downloading this that you understand this is only for the free, because I get email all the time from people. Does this work in the free player? You know, even when you put it up on the screen really clear, people still write you and ask. So they did that. This is Lowkey. It's an upright piano that has a glow knob, which can do different things. There's like 3 different layers. So you can go into unusual territory with this. Very nice. It does get heavy on the CPU, and, well, especially the disk. Oh, it's not doing it. Well, if you sustain pedal and play lots of notes, you will get spikes. But this type of piano, you don't play it like a busy Bach piece or something like that. But it's really nice. It works really cool in combination with other patches. So if we go to like 1.2, I did the, let's see, let's just go to the standard library so it doesn't show anything else. But Running Towards Freedom. No, where's the Sanctuary? Piano Sanctuary. Let's load this. And then inside of this one, let's mute the Church Steinway to start with. So it's... So it's the patch with just the felt piano. Then we can add the real piano. Which is nice. I think this is actually this is the intimate piano. It's not the bright piano, even though. So this is, let's see. So this piano is the intimate, which is inside a Unify, which is a soft, but it's still hammered, just played really soft. Whereas, let's see if we go mute, and combine this with the felt. They play real nice together. And then add some wave sequencing action. And then we can bring up the drums, which actually don't play till you go to the knobs and bring up the drums. Then you have control of the reverb. So let's maybe take the drum pitch down. So it plays nicely in those types of scenarios. If you combine it with pads, it's really nice. I used Option to just remove that layer. I'm sure it's nice with vocoder. Cool stuff. So it's a nice free piano, and they have some other stuff on sale, of course, at the website. That's why a lot of companies do these free sales and give something away for free. You come to the website and go, oh, they got that for sale. They got that for sale. Cool. So, very nice. Again, the description, the link is in the video. So you just go to the video description. That will tell you yeah, if you don't have the full version of Contact, Native Instruments is having their big 50% off everything, so you can get Contact for a pretty nice price. If you own an existing library, I keep trying to find information. They used to have a cross grade, so if you bought libraries for the free player, you could get Contact at an added discount. And I don't know, I couldn't find information on that, so. But at least 50% off is a really good deal, okay? So let's change gears. Are there any questions you guys have? Let me see in the list. That's good to point out. It also works with Contact 5 if you don't have Contact 6. Yeah, Largo by Waldorf is a good synth. Steve's saying that a friend of his had the realistic MG-1, but they put black tape on the name. It's not the name you want to see when you're seeing a band live, right? Yes, BBC Pro as well as Core are on sale. We're changing gears to DiscoverStation. Coming soon. We're doing, this has to be synchronized with an update. We're doing things inside of Unify that take advantage of things that we need to use inside of this library. So it's one of those things where before this library will work completely properly, exactly the way we want, you'll need to update to, I'm not sure what the version will be. We're at 1.2.4 in our beta testing. Why do some libraries require the full contact, others not? Good question. We'll answer that, and then we'll look at DiscoverStation. So Contact has a really unique ability that they decided to build where you can have the libraries show up over here under the Libraries tab. I actually did that years ago for Big Bad Beats. It's still here for those that bought it at the time. It is something those that you could add. Let's see if we set to MIDI channel 1, so we play drums and piano. That should sound. I'm a rapper. New style is what I'm about, yo. But I paid, what you have to do, you have to pay a licensing fee to Native Instruments in order for it to live over here in this coveted space. They charge a fee up front. That's like a preparation fee and stuff. And then you have to pay for each license that you send to your customer that lets it show up here. And a lot of us don't want to pay that. And it's a lot of money. You have to pay it up front. I had problems where I don't know if it's probably my fault, but some people would end up with the same license key. You put the licenses into your software and get it to give a customer a license and make sure it doesn't give it to another customer. And my software failed a couple times at doing that. I'll blame it. So to live here costs us money. I don't want to pay that money because I have to pass that charge on to you guys. So instead of Big Bad Beats being the affordable price it is now for even more samples, it would be twice the price because it's not cheap to do that. And so all the big companies that are going to sell thousands of copies and they're going to recoup that cost, they just pad that's why that's $199, $249, so forth for the libraries. Is because in order for it to show up over in this coveted, confusing space, which actually is, once you learn about right click for quick load, and you can go here and choose a library and load it in just far shorter amounts of time than navigating the library tab. You kind of go, well, you don't even really need this because there's so many libraries. If you spend any time building this up, this gets to be huge, and it's a lot of work actually to go through. You don't need it. So I make that go away for the most part because you can do quick load, right click, choose, like if I want to go to Mega Magic Pads, boom. I want to call up Lowkey, boom. I don't need that browser. It loads actually quicker this way. I can find various libraries, find sounds, put them in here. Far quicker than using the browser. To do what I just did in the browser would take more time, more effort. So quick load, where you can go to any library. If you don't know about quick load, it's just a right click on the interface. And my dog's barking. You can go to any library you like say we wanted Ethereal Earth, just take it and drag. And now Ethereal Earth is available inside here to just go like this and load. So anything over here that you want to put into quick load, say I also want to go, I like to play with the Sonic Coacher, their pan drums. So we could say this one actually, yeah, I think you have to go, yeah. So you could choose where you want to put it. Boom. Now I can make the browser go away again. I don't need that. And I can say hang drum and needs to load it for the first time. Now I want to go to Ethereal Earth. Boom. It's faster than their own browser, and it's free. It's built into Contact. Just a right click in the interface pops up this quick load, and you can lock it if you want so it doesn't go away, or it still goes away. But that's why we don't need to pay a license fee to be over in that coveted libraries space, because there's a faster way to do things that's free. So I don't do that. But that's why there's a difference between the two, okay? And now as companies advance, you know, for a long time, Spitfire, by the way, Spitfire has their really cool series. Actually, Spitfire's going to their own plugins. They're kind of, I'm working hard with Unify to get to where it's its own plugin instead of supporting libraries for other things. Spitfire Audio is one of the companies that's also doing that. Someone asked also, we had a question about this. It's a little confusing in the interface. When you go to this load page, I have a thing up here that says swap all instruments, and down here, all instruments. And that's confusing. I got to think of if there's a better name for this. These in the middle are what are called subsets. And I made subsets when I released Unify. And I made one called all instruments, where I just selected all the instruments that I have and said add selected, and it will add to the list. Click save, close. You can do the same. Go to the all instruments. All you should do this right now. Select all, save, close. What that does, all instruments is just an alphabetical list with no freaking folders to deal with of every plugin you own, alphabetically listed. And so your list is different than mine. I did this to the preset in Unify to the plugins I had at the time that we made that, which was in January. And I've added more since then. So I'll probably need to update that. But your list, you've got different plugins than I have. So go to the subsets, go to instruments, all instruments, select all, then say add selected. It will update this list and hit save. And now you've updated that list of all to everything on your computer alphabetized, okay? That's what that's for, is the all instruments right here is the way most DAWs show plugins in their folders for the company's names. You have to go to Reveal Sound to find Spire. And you have to remember Reveal Sound is the company that made Spire. Well, in this list, you just go down to S. And because I have way too many plugins on this computer, it takes a while to get there. But when I get here, Spire right here in the list of S. So it's just a faster way, alphabetized. Most of you don't have, well, some of you do. Some of you have more plugins than I do. I've talked to some of you guys, and some of you definitely have more. But that's the idea behind that. So I'm sorry for the confusing names, but as you can see, subsets shows them alphabetically in a list, whereas swap all instruments, they're back into the folder names for Clev Grand. If you want the Arturia plugins, it's cool that they're up here under Arturia. However, I made by company folders inside of folders, and all the Arturias are all still listed here. So I could go here quickly instead of having to go here and find Arturia from my list. So the middle subsets are just examples of how you can organize your plugins, because the whole idea is to make it quicker and easier. Favorites is just my favorite. So I can just go like this, and here's BBC Symphony Orchestra, loaded up, ready to go, right? Oh, it's loading up Core. Hello, Core. Let's see. Takes it a little bit longer to load this compared to the Discover. Discover is basically like a workstation where it's a single sample in a certain range than other samples above it. And This has round robins, multiple samples, all sorts of things happening. You can go up here anytime where it says core, and if you have Discover, install it, and takes it a minute to, oh, this is legato. So compare that to the core version, it's quite different. Because there's more sample, there's possible articulations, the legato. Right, when you play fast and short, it plays shorter if you play legato. So it sounds very nice in a mix to have more samples round robin. If we go back to Discover, you'll notice it's a whole different experience. World different. It's amazing, amazing different. Here I was playing the same sample. When you go to the core library, there's round robins and more samples. Oh, give it a second to. It's not repeating the same sample. And that tricks your ear into going, oh, that's real, because it's not repeating like a computer, right? And it's like 240, it's in the mid 200s. If just to get the core from scratch, if you own Discover, log into the Spitfire.com website, and the price is actually lower, because they give you the credit of owning the Discover version removed from the price of getting the core version, which is very nice. So let me show you, I just had time last night to make a couple different examples of patches where this is the Unify Discover version. Still sounds great, huh? Let me slow it down. Faster than that. But you hear how the attack's like the same every time? Okay, I'm gonna click a button. It takes it a second to load up, but this is the version of that with core instead of Discover for the strings. It's a whole different spirit, personality. Hear how different it is? Let's play this chord. Hear how the articulations are different? Okay, let's play it inside of Discover. Let me mute. I faked, I added this. And it's actually at a different tonality because it makes it. Take this out. Okay, go to core. I'm gonna give it it like takes about 30 seconds to Hear the difference? So it's the same sample set, but there's way, way more samples. So here's the Discover version. That, by the way, is with Jitterbox helping out. If you don't have Jitterbox, it's really noticeable. Jitterbox is randomizing the timing of everything by up to 25 milliseconds for each one of these, 17 for that, 16.2 on the main strings. So by having that random, we can trick DiscoverStation into sounding really great. Take off Jitterbox. And that's more noticeable. Let's call it the same thing. Turn off Jitterbox in Core. Big difference, big difference. So, how many gigabytes? I think it's 27 gigabytes for the whole library. You can install it during the installation process. You can say where you want it to install. I have it actually in the same location as the Discover version. So what's cool with the Core version is if you load the Core library, but you own the Pro library, it loads up the Pro samples automatically, apparently. So but it sounds great. Now, just for fun, I also converted it to Contact 6. Let me show you this. It's very different. It's a whole different set of samples. This is using the various, and I'm not sure it's going to play right because it kept doing this thing. This is the string ensemble library. So what's fun is to use both together, and then it's super, super cool. So you can layer these orchestras, and your my computer is streaming high-def video, and the hardest hit CPU is just chugging away. If we want to compare between them, here is Core by itself. Here's the Contact 6 version. Compare that to Core for just the basses and the cellos. Give it a minute. I still like both together. So just combine the two and oh, there we go. Get the mix right. It is great that we'll be able to convert. So converting libraries. Let me show you all you have to do. Let me show you a couple other examples. Here is Running Free, which is the woodwinds. And here it is with core. Takes it a minute to load. Flutes aren't there yet. Sounds so much more authentic. Now, if you want to hear the whole thing together, I think I did Going to War as both just the Discover version. This is strings, brass, woodwinds all playing. So let's just play a chord. And now we'll go to core. It's going to take it a little bit of time to load everybody up. So I'm going to watch the CPU here is kind of showing the activity as it's working to load everything. See if it's there. Sounds great. Here is, here's just the strings of Going to War. Discover. Here's how you would convert this. You open up this top Unify plugin inside of Unify, and here are the different string sections. We have them mapped across the keyboard so that they play within the ranges that we want them to play. Actually, the violas can go a little bit higher and then have a little bit more of a slope like this. You can set it, adjust it, solo the parts, play it. You would open up each one of these. This is the violin 1 section. So if you want to go to the core version or something, all you have to do is open this up and go from Discover to core. It's done. It has saved. Now, core, you have more articulations and more options. So you just do that. Now, if it's a different library, say you want to take this to one of the plugins that you own, it could be a different plugin, or it could be inside a contact, a certain library that you want. For this to work, what I did is you go to Contact. I need to open up that lovely Libraries tab because the native instruments, right here, there's String Ensemble. If you have native instruments complete, it has this where they have the same violin section 1, 2, violas, cellos, and basses. Those are the 5 sections. So you just say violins the first. Oh, yeah, my processor went crazy there for a second. Violins. Go over here, say contact 6. Go down here to the string ensemble, violins 2. And you just, it doesn't take that long. And I'm going to show you a shortcut. So say that we go over, oh wait, we want this to be favorite instruments, contact. This was what? This is the violas. Okay, so go over here. Just make sure I do them in the right order. Violas. And then here's cellos. So go contact. And then come down here to the cellos and drag them. Don't run a live stream at the same time you do this. You won't have audio glitches, right? And then go down here, say basses. And just like that. Now, the problem with the contact libraries I came across is that this particular library has all these different articulations on these different notes. And if I play down here, I'm changing the freaking articulations on everything. So I had to set, you go to the edit page and I just set them all to the same thing. So each one of these would be playing staccato, staccato, staccato. So that way, no matter what key map it called up, it would be the staccato or the spiccato or whatever version I want. And now that will stay. And I had to do that for everything. It was kind of a pain actually to do that, but that's what it required. So I'm going to show you a shortcut. Once you have set that up, like I've set this up inside of Kontakt, right? So it's set up. So now I use this setup in other patches. You see the Modern City Life running free. So check this out. This is why we love Unify so much. I can go right here. I can say operations, copy the plugin state. It copies all of that work that I did to do that. I could go over here to running free, have it load up first. This is the Discover version. To change to the Kontakt version with all of those maps and all that work, all I have to do is go down here, operations, paste. My audio is going to go bad in a second. So I won't talk then. And there. So I've converted it once and then copied that state of the strings and pasted it to another patch. So we have tools in Unify to save life, to make it possible to do stuff like this. I could go to, let's see, number 2, Modern City Life. And as you can see, I don't have core versions of this. Let's first go over here and paste and hear what it sounds like with the Kontakt version. I can have a sip of my yummy homemade mocha. And now I'm going to sound like Oh, I didn't sound like chipmunks. Oh, good. And here's with Kontakt. Okay, so that's the Kontakt version. If I wanted to go to core, I could go to this patch. It has the settings for the core library. All I have to do is say copy plugin state. Go to Modern City Life, which doesn't have a core version, right? All I have to do is go down here and say paste, and now I have the core version. Once it loads, everybody. So we have tools to help the conversions go pretty fast. And it gets more tricky when you get to some of these, like what Jeff is doing here, where each one of these is different. But it doesn't take that long to go through the list. And once you can actually go here and save the state of each layer, so you don't have to do the intricate programming. Just do it once and save it as a layer preset. Then just go over here to layer presets and you can make your own folder, orchestral, and have your own settings. We do folders inside of folders inside of folders. So you can organize it exactly how you want to have all your different libraries, which means in the middle of working on a film scene, if a certain string library's violins are not the right ones, you could sub them out really quickly and easily. So we have all sorts of cool tools like that for you to work with. So, okay. Doesn't sound great? Okay, any questions? what's fun with this is that anytime you could add something else to the mix to play. MIDI box is playing everything inside of this Unify. So if I went over here and I said, let's add an empty instrument layer and let's have it be, I have some pretty cool things inside of Omnisphere. So I could go to favorites, Omnisphere. Let's load Omnisphere up all of these strings. One of the Black Friday sales is on all of the Omnipulse libraries. I actually have, let's see, is it here in the list? Omnipulse Synthesizer has a whole lot of rhythmic string things. So we go down here to BPM strings. We could go Marcato. Let's add that. Let's have it go double time. That one ain't working quite right. Let's try. Oh. So in a case like this, this is using the BPM stuff. So I don't want playing short notes, right? So let's do this. Let's copy the state of Omnisphere. Copy plugin state. Option, click to remove it from this. Let's make it a new layer here. Let's see, I could have actually done it cooler by just copying the whole layer, but I didn't. So let's go empty instrument, Omnisphere, and then paste the state. I could have copied that whole layer, but I don't know what I was thinking. So now we can just go here and say paste state, and it will add that in. And now it's playing to me holding down notes to play the BPM. To give you different flavors and so forth. Omnisphere doesn't have cinematic orchestral strings anywhere close to what we have in the BBC or the multi-sample round robin, all the articulations. But you can do it. So, all right, any other questions? Let me see if there's anything in this list. So you can play chords with one key. Well, these are set up to be now, if I wanted, I could go to Logic and let's just have fun for a minute. Let's see, turn off the MIDI boxes and mute Omnisphere. I will also point out this is a cool way by muting the MIDI boxes. And let's get rid of our two rosin layers. Now I have this setup, whatever it is, whatever patch you call up, if it's got brass, woodwinds, and so forth, you'll have 3 different layers. It could be on 3 different MIDI channels, and you have these templates set up. So just clicking this, you can have a whole setup ready to start sequencing with without needing to go through the arduous layers and all that kind of stuff if you want to play it live. This is kind of like the BBC Abbey Road that's out now where they've pre-mixed everything. However, the advantage of this is we can go in, and this is still the separate layers of the separate instruments. So I could go, oh, the bass, I want them to really, really stick out. So I'm going to put noise box on them. Let's make it distorted. And I want to put a high pass filter on it. So I want to add some schmutz. Then bring down the mix. And I'm not distorting the rest of the orchestra. So that flexibility is something you lose with Abbey Road and the things I believe. I don't have Abbey Road, so I'm not sure. Okay, that's one example. Now, as far as to playing chords with one finger, just make a MIDI file or find a MIDI file. There's a billion of them out there, but if I go, Okay, so I just played a little. Right? So I need to just, I'll probably make this a patch because it's kind of cool. So let's see. This is Trickster. Let's export this to a MIDI file to the desktop. And here is the MIDI file. So now all I need to do is go to turn back on MIDI box, go to the loading, and I'm gonna move this so you don't see my desktop because there's some top secret stuff there that I would get fired if I showed you. So by now, one note. I go Cloud City, BPM drums. Let's add a couple cool drum grooves. There you go. So they have dynamics. How do I get out of this one? So I have to go over here to the knobs. Let's bypass the knobs for the other layers so it doesn't do the reverb on them. Because normally mod wheel on an orchestra is the expression. Right? So I could go over here, check this out. Let's go over here, say copy, go to this knob, let's get rid of whatever this is and say paste, and go back over here and copy the second one, copy, get rid of, go over to the second knob and use this option to paste. So I've moved the controls. I could have swapped. I should have probably swapped. That would have been faster. I could have just said, you first copy into memory and then you can use paste swap to swap. But I've put the reverb of the drums. Oh, I think they're still turned off, right? Yeah, because remember that. So now they're on. So now. So now I got best above. Let's go to BPM bass. Oh, wrong button. Let's find a cool bass. How about a Bohemian Boomer? I don't even know what plugin this is. Unify. There you go. So there you go. Yeah, I'll include this. I'll make a patch with Trickster. I'll make some other single chord things for those of you that want to. Those are cool. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm going to show you just a second of a new library I'm working on called Cutting Edge. I hope to get this out in hopefully December. I'd love to get out in December if we can do it. We'll see. It might be in January, but it's let's see. It's using all sorts of cool wave sequencing. Here's the pad version. stuff like that. Cool plugs. Underwater. Some really cool quite different from orchestral, huh? Dress of Glass is cool. These are like 20 plus samples across the keyboard. I'm into territory now I could never accomplish with Omnisphere. And there's all sorts of basses, all sorts of... all sorts of stuff. So that's in the works. And the samples, it's all about the samples, my friends. If you have the right samples, it's pretty cool. All that kind of stuff for wave sequencing like crazy. So I just did this as an example test for just this kind of stuff is so fun to play with. So tons of wave sequencing. So all sorts of stuff to play with, so. Oh, we're at more than 24 layers. So that's in the works. So that's gonna be lots of fun. So thank you for watching. This has been a fun live stream. Okay, any questions? Let's take a second here. If you guys have any specific questions, don't forget Black Friday Insanity is going at my humble little website, pluginguru.com. If you need inspiring patches, please come to pluginguru.com. There's I think 22 libraries right now are on sale. Lots of bundles too. The bundles are super discounted and more will be added Sunday night. Jason Schofer, his Northern Lights 2 libraries will be at an incredible price for Monday. Tim Dale, I'm going to put his libraries, all 4 of them, on sale for an incredible price. We'll do a couple other things for Cyber Monday. Yeah, Del Norte is coming. We got some work to do to get it. Is Del Norte on sale? No. Signs of Life is here. Percussa is here. All the libraries for Unify, Cloud City, Big Bad Beats, and Melodic Techno are on discount. I had someone ask, they were waiting for a Black Friday sale on Unify. And I explained, and I'm happy to explain just real quickly here. Unify is always on sale. If I wanted to, because of what it can do, we could have priced it at $200 and had it on sale right now for $99 or something like that. Instead, it's always on sale at this insane $79 price. And so instead of playing discount games with Unify, it's just one price. It will never go on sale. And so I've said that so many times, I'm not going to start putting it on sale now. So Unify is always on sale for $79. I could have done the whole tricky thing that everybody does where they price it so that they can still sell it and make some money on Black Friday by taking their $200 libraries and make it $79 if they want or something like that. Now, it's just, I'm doing that all the time, all year long with Unify. So it's in a different thing. What it does is, as you can see, priceless. To be able to take one sound and just add another and then add vocoding to it if you want. And I mean, in seconds, you can do things that there's no plugin on the planet that can do what we can do, just like that. Let alone the wave sequencing, the MIDI sequencing, all the stuff we can do with polyphony for getting monophonic synths to be polyphonic. All of that is cool and unique on top of just the ability to load patches and say I want to have three. Then when I go to complete different library, I could say all libraries, what's all the BPM pads that I have on this? I can see this list. I don't even care where it comes from. I can say add this into Unify. This is an Omnisphere patch just because I know where it is, but let's take it out up. Doesn't really work, so you can just option to say, no, time is pulsing away, let's add that instead. And I've got this really cool, huge sound that'll be the cool centerpiece to a track. So Unify is the price it is. It's staying at that price forever. And then everything else, we can Black Friday stuff out, you know. Well, no, Unify is not Omnisphere. Unify is a place that all plugins can come to play. And Omnisphere has incredible tools in it that you can't find inside of Unify. We don't have granular synthesis. We don't have modulation in the way that Omnisphere does or other synthesizers do. Those guys all have their own strengths, but now they can come into Unify and you can use Vital and Omnisphere and something together to make a cool patch that you save and use just by calling up and playing without being like setting up 4 layers in a song and now you have to, you know, it's a much different scenario. It's a play place. It's a place to let all your plugins play. So hope that's how you see it. It's not, we're not trying to replace anybody. We're just, it's above everybody in a way that they all get to come to this place to play. It's like a cool hotel, right? So yeah, if you have issues and stuff, the forums, as you can see, Shane is doing a really good job of Jamie89, Unify standalone, anyone else have the same problem? Filter Max and Restrictor. Yeah, please, the forums are where we need, that's where you can send a message and Shane can understand and we can look at issues that we're not aware of. If there's something going on that's unique that it shouldn't be doing, tell us. Shane is an awesome fixer. Oh, shout outs have started. Unify Playground, exactly. All right, shout out from Portland. Oh, hey, 1 second. I have someone here that wants to do a shout out. Takita, come here. You're all buried in here, sound asleep. Come here, sweetheart. Takita is here saying, what in the heck? Hello, everybody. You were sleeping. She was totally buried in the blanket, sound asleep. Such a cozy little girl. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. Shout outs. Oh, Canada, New Jersey, Holland, UK, Copenhagen. Good to see you, Will, in Denmark. My goodness. Liverpool, Sweden. This is Takita. Everybody say hello to Takita. Hello, Takita. She's my girlfriend's sweet little puppy. She likes to hang out here in the studio. She's got a pillow over on the sofa. Make sure that everything's going good. Scotland. Sweet David. Good to see you guys. Thank you, Apex. Glad you enjoy. Also, hey, we should do a shout out to Shane. Shane continues to be the champion, cracking the code, making everything that you see on the screen, Shane created. So shout out to Shane. He continues to be a wonderful partner in this process. We're looking at what we want to. It's just very cool stuff coming up. I'm really excited for the future, you guys. Yes, he's already a legend. He the man. Yes. Shout out from France. Shane Magic. Exactly. You know, I came to him when he was adding this ability to right click and add patches, and it would be this big hiccup, right? And then it finally loaded up, and I'm like, can you make that seamless? And he figured out how to make it so that you can be with one sound. And no matter what plugin it is, sometimes Omnisphere's a little clicky. But to be able to just add patches. Here's a wave sequence. Cranking my levels a little loud. So. I mean, how in the heck, what do you do in software to make it seamless? He figured it out, had it so it loads things in a certain order. It doesn't give up audio until a certain point, so it's seamless. So thank you, Shane, because that's the coolest thing on the planet to me, is to go like that and just... I mean, and it can be anything. I could have this 4-layer thing going on. I could go to DiscoverStation. I could go over to the strings, the BPM strings. They're doing all their things. Say I wanted to go to the core version, say load that in. And it will do it seamlessly while it's still loading. Now, we'll have to talk at some point about timing, because what you'll probably want to do a lot of times is have the strings recorded to a separate audio track so that you can shift them, because there's a little bit of extra attack personality in a lot of the Spitfire samples. They're really big on keeping that musical persona in the attacks, which makes them a little bit late. And so you'll need to use a ability coming to Omnisphere, which is separate audio outputs. That's going to be a paid upgrade that we'll be releasing. It's one of our first premium upgrades we want to do for Unify, is to give you separate audio outputs. And that's something coming pretty soon, because that ability will let you take everything and then shift and pre-advance and move things around if you need to, after you've recorded it into your sequencer and your DAW and you've mixed it out as audio tracks. Now, since it's a separate string part on a separate audio file, you'll be able to move the strings so that they're in time with everything else that's playing. Because right now you can see it's just a little bit late. Hear that? So you'll want to be able to shift that audio part of the string orchestra earlier to make up for the little space in there, right? Yeah, coming to Unify, audio outputs, not to Omnisphere. Omnisphere already has audio output control. Unify currently does not. So if we go to Omnisphere, if you need separate output controls, then that's on the multi-page where you have output assignments. There's 8 of them to choose from. Unify is going to have 16, so it will be different in that you'll have even more control to work with. So that's one thing where you get to this situation with the strings. They're not playing in sequence with everything else. So you want to have the strings on their own channel so that either, to make it so it's tempo locked to your tempo of your sequencer, you'll need to record it as an audio track and then shift it a little bit. Or there's other things you could maybe look at doing, but since the strings are played by notes, you could probably just shift the MIDI track earlier too if you wanted, if it's not played by MIDI files and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm just pointing out that the strings are late because there's extra stuff in their attacks. In here, if I wanted to, I could go in and I could add our delay. We have a sample delay. So we could say link and set it to be the certain amount of delay to each of the parts that are not the strings. But now I've delayed it so everything's late to the beat clock. So if you're playing live, you can do stuff like that to get it to work. But if you're playing it to a sequencer and it needs to be in time with drums and all sorts of other tracks in your sequencer, you'll need to be aware that the strings need to be shifted earlier, either by MIDI event data or other ways, okay? Not inputs, outputs. Oh, I/O options. I'm not sure if inputs are going to be, I don't know what the number of inputs is. Still working on that, I believe. But we'll have details on that coming, but that's in the works. So we can say that. A little more and Unify will take us into space. Yeah, I could see SpaceX flying around with Unify powering it for the entertainment inside or something like that. All right, guys, thank you for watching. It's a pleasure to be here each week and get to do this. So, external modules. To use iPad synths or external MIDI modules. Yes. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff we're working on. You guys are going to be on your toes. We have all sorts of cool capabilities that are in the lab being worked on that are really fun. So Unify is not done. There's more we want to do. There's more things. Some of these things will be more things you can add to Unify if you want. They aren't needed to make the libraries and to do everything Unify is currently doing. These are new abilities that make it more flexible in your studio, stuff like that. Okay? So they are going to be paid options so that we can pay Shane some money for the work he is doing for adding these things, right? There's only so much we can do for free. We want to do some things that we can make some money on too. So anyway, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you all. Bless you. Have a great weekend, Cyber Monday, all that stuff. And we'll see you next Saturday to continue the fun. All right? Be well. See you later. Bye. Bye. Oh, Takita says bye. She's like, wait, what's going on?